Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Lakeisha Womack Show. I'm your host, Lakeisha Womack, and this show is dedicated to all of our summer bodies. I know we have been hiding ourselves under sweaters and coats and boots and jeans, but as the weather starts to get a little bit warmer, we're going to want to break out those shorts and sundresses, and for the guys, like some of you will be wearing some tank tops, but you need to make sure that your body is ready for those summer outfits. So our guest today is Velma Kennedy. Am I saying your last name right? I didn't even
Your
ask.
close is very good. It's okay. It's Kennedy.
Kennedy. Okay, Velma Kennedy. We were chatting so much in the pre-show that I forgot to ask. But she is one of the few females that I know that actually has like a six-pack. And when I look at her pictures on Instagram and then I look at what is on my plate that I'm about to eat, I really think I need to get my life together. So I wanted her to come to the show because I know a lot of you are probably in the same boat. So welcome to the show, Velma.
Thank you so much, Lakeisha.
Awesome. So before we jump into the interview, tell our listeners a little bit about yourself because you do so many things. You have a clothing line with your leggings. You do nutrition. Just tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, I am Velma Kennedy, and I basically help people eat and live healthier and look good while they do it. So I find a lot of people are just overwhelmed by what is healthy eating, or I'm not really ready to go 100% like I see you do on Instagram. Like, what can I do to kind of transition? I mean, seriously, some people, like, especially my aunt, every time I post a picture of something, she's like, well, where's the meat? I'm like, but there's protein in there. Like, she's such a meat eater, so, like, it's just always like, okay, well, you can have this and you can have that in place of it. And, so, yeah, I just really want to help the average everyday person eat healthier and just be more aware of food and what it contains because companies really don't care about you. They care about their money and their bottom line. So
Right.
I just want you to care more because they count on you not knowing what's in your food. They count on you not caring. And then, you have diabetes and you wonder where this comes from.
Right. And I think what impresses me the most about your platform is that you do focus so much on eating as well as exercise. So tell us a little bit more about why nutrition is so important.
Well, because even if you cannot physically work out, you still have to eat to live. The thing about it is the only reason why God made you to eat is so that you could fuel your body's functions, not so that you could satisfy your taste buds, even if that does happen. You really are only supposed to eat to live. Like, that's the only reason why. So if you sit there and you have, I love French fries, I'm not going to lie. I don't eat them often. But if you sit there and have a bunch of, French fries, which is fried food, how really is that going to nourish your body and help you to think clearer, be able to make better decisions, sleep better, move around better? How is that going to help you? It does.
Right. So what are some things that we
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so, I focus more on nutrition because, like I said, if you cannot work out, if you break a leg or whatever, you still must eat correctly because you don't have that second piece to help you maintain your health. But back to your question.
Awesome. Well, I was going to ask along those lines, like, what are some things that we should cut from our diet to help us? Like somebody like me who, like, I want to do the right thing. I swear I do. But I'm kind of gradually getting to that point. So what's a good starting point for me? Like, what are a few things that I can cut out to get me on the road?
Well, one the thing is I like to transition people because my last book, 21 Days Cravin'Fit, I want you to make fit stick. So I want it to last a lifetime. So when you feel like you have to cut out something, you are tempted to, your temptation is higher. So if you like say, okay, I can have this thing, but like maybe once every 3 months. So that's how I like to do for people. But I also like to take your favorite foods and remix them to make them healthier. So that's the first thing I would tell people to do is start with your favorite foods and remix them. Like, switch out the milk that you use. If you use whole milk, go down to 2%, and then eventually switch out to, like almond milk, coconut, cashew, soy milk, whatever. So also switching out the sugars you use. I actually don't have sugar in my house. I, use stevia, agave. I have honey, stuff like that. I would like to take you to the small steps in between.
Awesome. And one of the services that I noticed in your bio that you provide is a pantry suite. That would scare a lot of people. So tell us a little bit about, like, if somebody decides, they might not want to bring, a professional in to do a pantry sweep, like, what are some of the things that we should look for in our pantry to get rid of? I know you said, like, the sugars, replacing it with, I think, like, Truvia is more of, like, a natural sugar than a processed sugar. Is that right?
And stevia is a plant sugar.
Okay. So what are some other things that we should look for in our pantries that we can replace to get us on a healthier eating track?
Well, if a lot of things are in there that have boxes and, my thing is I never buy any ingredient or food source that I haven't read the ingredient labels list for and the nutrition label. Like, it amazes me how many people just put it in the cart and just don't even read it. Like, again, but that's because I'm aware. I know these companies have no interest in my health whatsoever. Even if things are organic, for instance, I think it was like an organic granola I saw the other day. It was like 22 grams of sugar. That's way too much sugar, even if it's organic. Exactly. But because you feel, because it has the organic label on it, it must be good for you. It's better for me. Yes, but no. There's always levels to it, so that would be one of the things that I would point out to somebody if I went to their pantry sweep. Like, do you see how many sugars in this? This is way too much.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's what I would do. I would essentially go through, especially sodium. Like, if they have, what is the one? The chicken broth, things like that, they have low sodium, lower sodium. And they have about 880 grams of sodium per serving. So that's about 1 cup. But even the lower sodium, yeah, exactly. But they count on you not knowing. They count on you not reading this stuff. And so the lower sodium one is 550 milligrams of sodium, which they can consider that lower if it's 33% of their original product. And again, see, if I'm a company and I know something is bad, why would I make it?
Right.
They don't care. I'm trying to tell you guys, they do not care about your health. But they do now have started to make some that have like zero added salt, and I think they're like either 40 or 70 milligrams, and I think they're about 10 to 20 cents more than the other ones. So in that case, and it's also organic. I shop at a Kroger's here in Texas, so I'm going to spend that extra 10 cents to get the one that has a lower sodium. I just am.
Well, and that was going to be my next question, because I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes almost 11 years ago. One of the things that because I'm not supposed to eat carbs, is that the foods that are good for me and that I should eat are so much more expensive than the foods that are essentially not good for me. It's like it's cheaper to buy a can of peas versus buying some fresh peas or some frozen peas. So how do you advise people who may be on a budget but they're trying to eat healthy?
Well, if you cut down on some of your meats, that would cut down your costs. Also, if you do more vegetarian meals, and vegetables don't cost that much. Carrots and corn doesn't cost like $5.
Right.
So you could get more creative in that way. Also, too, if you expand your culinary, like that's one of the things that I've done with eating healthy, because I didn't always grow up this way. This wasn't something that was taught in the house. You ate what your mom made you, and that was it, or else you didn't eat. So as you get older and you have more food experiences, even to this day, I hadn't ever had butternut squash. There's a lot of things that I haven't had when I was growing up that I now eat because, I know that this is healthy for me and that I've tried. So I would definitely say for people to try more foods and try them again and prepare them in a way so you can find out, which way you like them. Because things are good, you just got to figure out how to season them or, how to make them. So I would say experiment, and that also helps you get a lot of different nutrients and minerals that you would miss from eating the same thing every day, every week, time after time.
Right. And one of the things that I've noticed that you do is also meal prep, like weekly meal prep.
Yeah.
Share with us, what's the benefit of doing that?
Well, it saves you a lot of time up front, and I also teach people how to do it, too, because sometimes they feel overwhelmed, like they have to do the whole entire week. So I'll either come in with them, and I was like, okay, this is what we're going to make, and sometimes I'll just do you don't have to do the whole week. You just do Monday through Wednesday and then do something else from Wednesday to Thursday. So what I like to do for myself is I'll do one main meal, a heavy meal, which is I would do for my lunch. My breakfast is usually the heaviest meal. Lunch is the second heaviest, and dinner is my lightest meal. So I would help somebody say, okay, this is, yeah. You have a question about that?
I know because I think most people do it in the reverse order. Most people eat really light breakfast because they're on the go, and then they eat something I guess medium for lunch, and then their heaviest meal is normally dinner, where they just kind of pile on the food. So I think it's interesting that you have a reverse order for that.
Yes, because your breakfast is your most important meal. Your digestive enzymes are ready to go and to absorb stuff to break the fast from your sleep. So that's why I say it's the most important meal. So I tend to eat really good things in the morning. Sometimes it switches up. Sometimes I have no idea what I want to eat, even if I breakfast the night before. But, because when you're going to sleep, you don't need a lot of especially carbs. So what you should be eating for dinner is a protein and a vegetable source. Because if you eat any carbs, or especially refined carbs like white rice or, those things, it's going to turn to fat when you go to sleep. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So because you're eating the carbs because carbs give you energy. So if you're going to sleep, you're not going to burn that. And, that's why they try to get you to eat at least 2 hours before you go to sleep. And so, yeah, you should definitely just eat a protein source and a vegetable. I mean, of course, you can eat a little bit of fat because that'll help you feel, more full with it. But that's what you should be doing. So no cakes and cookies at night.
I'm sure there are quite a few of us listening right now. They're like, okay, I can see why I've gained the weight that I've gained because, and I think you touched on something earlier where you said, growing, a lot of us just ate what our parents told us to eat, and we were never really educated about nutrition and the purpose of food, and just, how do you create balanced meals? So I'm learning so much from you right now. You do grocery store tours. Now, all of our lives, we've always gone to the grocery store. Most of us know where to find almost everything in our go-to grocery store. What's the purpose of a grocery store tour? What are you showing us that we don't already know?
Well, I show you how to get in and get out and do it quickly. And a lot of people that know me know that I'm a budget queen. I am a saver. I am very to the penny about stuff, very to the penny. And another thing that I don't do is I don't shop at Whole Foods. I don't shop at Trader Joe's. I don't shop at any of the specialty health food stores because I'm trying to show people that you don't have to shop there to be healthy and have a six-pack. It's a misconception. People feel they go in there, oh, I'm going to get all healthy food. What's the point of going in there, spending all your money when you can go to, a Food Line, a Giant, a Kroger, anywhere else and get food. I understand quality might be different, but you don't have to go to Whole. As an entrepreneur now, I definitely don't shop there, but even when I have my 9 to 5, I never shop there. It kind of gives people a sense of, oh, I'm shopping at Whole Foods. I'm going to be healthier. But then, you can't sustain that over a lifetime. And that's the same thing about these, Herbalife and all the other. Are you going to buy Herbalife for the rest of your life? I mean, seriously. Are you going to spend that money for the rest of your life? No. You have to buy food, so why not just buy the right food? So in the grocery store tours, I take you around. I help you read the nutrition labels, understand the list of things you should look out for, also showing you that organic food has become comparable in price in some instances. So, and I also show you the dirty dozen, the 12 items that you should get organic when and if you can, and then the clean 15 that you can get that they have the least amount of traces of pesticides and things. So I really just show you, how I would shop and how you need to shop. And, basically some people hate the grocery store. They really do. So when they hate it, I just do it for them. But if they really want to know and understand, then I help them with that.
Wow. And I think one of the most surprising things that you just said is the fact that you don't shop at Whole Foods, because I think that there is a misconception among a lot of people that in order to eat healthy, like, you do have to go to those specialty stores, and that scares a lot of us away because we know that it is more expensive. And like you said, you have to create something that's sustainable. And as an entrepreneur and single mom with a growing 11-year-old, like, I know I can't afford to go. I can't afford to buy groceries every week at Whole Foods. So then it's like, all right, what do I do? So I think that's some great advice. And switching gears a little bit, so to get your six-pack, of course, clean eating has played a huge part in it, but you also exercise very regularly. Tell us why, exercise, and because some people either think that they can exercise and eat what they want, or they eat healthy and then they don't exercise. Why is it important for people to do both?
Well, my background is track and field. So I've been running track since I was 8 years old, and so I have always been an active person. I haven't always eaten as healthy as I eat now, but so being active is just my lifestyle. It's my life. If I don't work out, at least some people think I work out 7 days a week. I'm like, you guys are crazy. Like, nobody has time for that. I work out 3 times a week.
No way.
No.
I'm one of those that thought you worked out 7 times a week.
Oh my God! Like, I love the gym, but I don't love the gym. Okay, so I work out no less than 3. I work out no less than 3 times a week, 4 times maximum if it's a good week. Because when I go, I do total body. So I always do cardio because I'm a track person. So I need to run. I need to get my heart rate up. The other thing that I do that's comparable is I take kickboxing at Gold Gym like every week, and that's really good, especially for ladies, because we tend not to work our arms and back or anything. So that's that back fat, that's that bra, roll, all of that stuff, and it helps you to work on an area that you would normally not work on. So I just have always been active, and 3 times a week is good enough for you. You need to work out because that helps. For instance, people who eat fried food, the oil and everything, they harden your arteries and your veins. So that's how people get heart attacks, because your blood cannot move through the veins to get to your heart. So what happens is then your heart can't take it and it stops. So when you work out, it helps to keep the blood pumping through. So, and then it helps the veins and arteries not to harden. But that isn't to say that you should, eat this all the time and then work out. However, it is better for you if you do that and work out. But, what I like to tell my clients, especially new ones coming in, is like, okay, I'm not going to tell you never to have these things. What I'm going to tell you is to put it on your schedule as this is the day that you're going to have that. So that way it's a treat. So back to the exercise piece. It is very important because, a lot of people aren't very active these days. We sit at our desk all day. We don't exercise. It's just
It is. It really is, because when you think about it, you get up in the morning. Most people get up late, and then you're rushing to get in your car to go to work. And if you're not, in a position where you have to walk around, you are sitting at your desk for like 8 hours. Then you go back, get in your car, you go home, you're exhausted from the day, so you end up sitting on your sofa or, doing some light stuff around the house. And that's the end of your day, and then you're getting in the bed. So I see what you're saying about if you're eating these foods that are fried or, full of sodium, they're just like sitting on your body.
Mm-hmm. The other thing, too, is why I'm so much into nutrition is that people do not connect the foods they eat with their actual health. Like, it is amazing to me that what you don't understand is that you're eating for your future health. What you eat today will affect how you feel, how you look, how you respond when you're 60, or maybe not. I know you've heard a lot of people having heart attacks younger now. A lot more kids are having diabetes this young. The other thing, too, is for some of my clients, it's like, oh, well, I bought that for my son, but you're not going to eat it because you know it's not healthy. Well, why are you buying it for your kids? Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. Right. It's not, it's not healthy, but you still go buy it. Why? Help me to understand.
Right. Favorite shows to watch is My 600-Pound Life, because I'm so fascinated with people who find themselves 600, 700, 800 pounds, and they're almost like, I can't believe I'm in this position. I don't know how I got to this position. But then you look at the fact, you look at what they're eating, and then you look at the fact that most of them are like homebound or bedridden, so they're not getting any activity. And I think that it's important for you to come on and for us to have this conversation, because there are some people who may not even realize it, but like they're on that trajectory. Just like you said, like they're eating for their future body. And if they're not exercising and they're eating all these bad foods, like they're going to find themselves like 300-400 pounds and wonder, how did I get to this place?
Well, Lakeisha, some people are only interested in being fit, but they're not committed to it.
Right.
There's only an interest in, like, a lot of times, even on Facebook, a lot of my Facebook friends, everybody's, oh, if I could only get a six-pack like you, if I could only get a six-pack like you. Like, how long have you known me? How long have you seen how I live my life? Why can't you do the same? I'm not any different than anybody else. I'm really not. But what I have been is I have been really consistent. I always work out. I always eat healthy. Like, so I'm not doing anything that you can't. And it's not like people don't know what to do, Lakeisha. Like, if I ask anybody what they need to do to lose it, they would say, I need to eat more vegetables. I need to work out. People know what they need to do. It's not rocket science. But what it is that people are so comfortable and they become lazy and they really don't care. If you don't eat healthy, you don't care about your life. You could tell me and you could say anything you want, but you really don't. You don't care about your health, because if you wake up, God forbid, thank God that you wake up every day. But that's why you think you're healthy, because you're waking up and you have breath in your body. You're able to move in your limbs, all of that. So you feel like you're healthy, but you're not. You are.
Right.
And it's going to catch up with people.
Yeah, and I think that's why it has to be a lifestyle change. And as much as, I did the teaser for the show that, this is about your summer body, it's actually about more than just the summertime. It's about creating habits that will help you to have a fit lifestyle, not just, getting fit for the bikini for the summer, but how do you change your habits so that you're not predisposed to having a heart attack or getting diagnosed with diabetes? And as a type 1 diabetic, like, it just came out of nowhere for me, and I have to take like 5 insulin shots a day.
Well, type 1 is actually hereditary. Like, that's passed down. It's not like type 2 is a lifestyle disease. I mean, that could be, passed down too, but like type 1 is definitely passed down.
Right. Yeah, so I'm saying, like, it just came out of nowhere when I was diagnosed. So it wasn't that, I wasn't eating right. It wasn't, I was working out at the time. I don't eat a lot of junk But, you know, people who, as you said, are at risk for getting type 2, they can make some changes now so that they don't end up in the position of having to take insulin shots and having to check your blood sugar before you eat. Because let me tell you guys, like, that is no fun. It's no fun having to monitor your blood sugars all the time. And if you're in a position now where you know that you could be diagnosed with, you know, diabetes, make the lifestyle change so that you don't end up in that position, because it's no fun. So I'm so happy. Go ahead.
Now, I was going to say, you know, what I usually tell people is, like, would you rather exercise for 1 hour a day or be dead for 24 hours a day? And
right.
I give this analogy all the time. So if your car requires 93 gas and 87 in it, what happens to your car over time?
Right.
Same thing with your body. Your body requires 93, actually 100% of good stuff. And you put 20%, just 20% quality worth of stuff in you, what do you think is going to happen to your body? Food also, you know, gives you energy. Like, I mean, if you change the way you eat, food will give you the more energy that you claim you don't have or that you feel exhausted. You also, you know, tend to sleep better. You know, and getting rest is a very important part of it. And also relieving stress as much as possible. You know, I just am trying to get people more aware and to care more, because, like I said, companies count on you not caring and not being aware.
Right, because they're trying to make the most product at the cheapest price. And so if that means, like, loading it up with salt so that it tastes good and you want to come back and buy more, then they're going to do that. And I think, you know, you shared some excellent information with us today, and I'm just prayerful that people will take heed and recognize that, you know, there are some changes. And this isn't just about women. Like, guys, some of you need to change, because I see some guys that look like they're, like, 9 months pregnant. And I'm just like, you know, that cannot be healthy.
It isn't, but what happens is they have the beer belly. See, guys tend to gain weight around the stomach, and women are on the hips and butt and thighs. So the other thing, too, is why guys definitely need to get their colon checked is because they tend to eat more meat than women. And if they aren't vegetable eaters with it and get fiber in it, that stuff sits in your digestive tract and in your colon, and those are the types of things that causes cancers. And so one of the other things, too, why you shouldn't eat nitrates and nitrites, which are in bacon and some sausages and other things like that, is because those are the things that cause cancer. Again, they are counting on you not to know. People love their bacon. People love their sausage.
Yes.
People love all this.
Yes.
You don't pay attention to that because guess what? You like how it tastes. You don't care about any of that. Again, because you don't know. You didn't know that any of that stuff was in there, right?
Right.
So
right. I love my bacon.
And bacon is actually paleo for you paleo lovers. So especially if it's, you know, fresh, you know, straight from the farm type. But that's what I do when I'm a coach to, you know, my clients. I help them with their commitment to be committed. You know, and I care about the individual success, and I'm willing to hold them accountable. And it's, you know, might be tough love at sometimes, but seriously, a lot of people need support and they need cheerleading, and that's what I do with my accountability. A lot of people, they need support, and they're, like, upset that their husbands won't support. I get a lot of that from women, like, oh, my husband or my woman, he doesn't support me. I'm like, well, you know, at the end of the day, this is you. Like, once you get it together, then they'll, you know, jump on the bandwagon. And you can't be upset at them for that because it's not their thing. It's you.
Right.
So that's what I'm there for, is to give them the support that they wish that they could get from family or friends or whoever.
Let's tell our listeners, like, where they can find out information about you, or if they're interested in working with you. How can they get in contact with you?
Oh, you know what? I actually have a gift, too, for the listeners and everybody for my leggings. I know we didn't talk about it much, but anyway, they can get 10% off my leggings from now to the whole entire month of April. Yeah. All they have to do is enter WOMAC10 at the checkout, and they'll get 10%, and that is www.velmacandidate.com. I'm sure you'll do show notes, so maybe you'll put it in there.
Yeah, definitely.
And then if you want to work with me, you can email me at info@cravinfit.com. That's CRAVIN fit.com. Or you follow me on Instagram or any of those things, and I'm pretty responsive, and, you know, I like to show you my food so that you can eat healthy like me too. Anything I can do to help, I'm here.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on the show and just to share so much great information with us about the importance of nutrition. We're so excited that you were here. I needed the kind of kick in the butt to make a few changes I know in my diet. That as you were talking, I was like, yeah, I really need to get my life together. So thank you so much for coming on today.
Well, thank you for having me. I love talking about nutrition. I mean, you know, what I want to do for the rest of my life is push, promote, and sell healthy food. So, you know, this is only the beginning.
Awesome. And thank you to all of our listeners for tuning in. Make sure you check out the online. Yes, and take advantage of that leggings discount and share this show with your friends, because I know each of you can probably think of 5 or 10 people that need to hear this information so that they can make the lifestyle change to make them a healthier person, because we all want to be around for